Internal Revenue Service IRS tax news. Taxpayers can visit IRS.gov from the safety of their home for answers to tax questions. IRS Tax Tip 2021-03, January 19th, 2021. As people get ready, there's a link to get ready here, to file their 2020 tax return, the IRS reminds taxpayers they can find answers to their tax questions from the safety of their home using IRS online tools and resources. There's a link to the online tools and resources here. These IRS.gov, IRS.gov, IRS website tools are easy to use and available 24 hours a day. IRS Free File, there's a link to the IRS Free File here. Almost everyone can file their tax return electronically for free. The software does all the work of finding deductions, credits, and exemptions. It's free for those who earn $72,000 or less in 2020. Some of the Free File packages also offer free state tax return preparation. So we did do a little presentation just to get into this Free File software. So it's the $72,000 or less, but notice it's not through the IRS. So you can get there on the IRS website. You can go to this link or go on the IRS website and look for the Free File services. And then they're basically going to look at the major software providers and recommend a provider for you that would be within your needs that offers a free option within that category or that range. So it's pretty neat. It's a pretty nice system because then you can get access to software to practice the tax returns. Now remember, when you're thinking about the tax return, obviously, if you can get access to the free software, that would be great. But you want to make sure that it picks up all your needs, including giving you access to the earned income tax credit. If you need that to be calculated, make sure that the software calculates that. It calculates all refundable credits, including the child tax credit, but the earned income tax credit is usually the more difficult one if that one is going to be applicable to you. And if you have any state needs, then make sure that you're picking up the software that does the state needs as well, so that you don't have to think about these two things separately. They should be done basically at the same point in time. If your tax return is more complex, if it's over, for example, this threshold, or even if it's not quite over that threshold, it might be the case, and especially if you are itemizing, I would think you're kind of over the threshold where you would probably want to get help from a tax professional at that point. If you're getting help from a tax professional, then I would look for a tax professional that's not just there to do a one-time kind of tax preparation, fix the immediate need. You probably want to, at that point, due to the complexity of your return, look for a tax professional that you can build a relationship over a longer period of time, so they can help you with tax planning, estimated tax payments, changes, and whatnot going forward. So taxpayers who are comfortable filling out tax forms electronically can use Free File Fillable Forms, regardless of income, to file their tax returns either by mail or online. So you can use the Free File Fillable Forms. That's going to be, and there's a link to that here. That's similar to kind of doing it by hand. You have all the resources to do that. The IRS gives you all the tax forms and puts all the instructions on there. You can do it line by line, but it's a whole lot more difficult to do that. So unless you're comfortable doing that, I would kind of steer away from that, because the Free File software or the software options give you an interview process. You're not filling out the tax returns line by line, which can be tedious and lend itself to problems if you're not very thorough in reading every line, because the interview process will basically give you the relevant information and then let the software pick up the pieces that it can do basically by itself. And of course, if your tax return is more complex, over the $72,000, for example, it's probably more complex than you want to be doing without actual software, because the software is kind of like an internal control. It's a double check that you're picking things up oftentimes. So just keep that in mind. Choosing a preparer. The IRS has several options for finding a tax preparer. One resource is Choosing a Tax Professional. There's a link to that here, which offers a wealth of information for selecting a tax professional. The directory of federal tax return preparers with credentials and selected qualifications, there's a link to that here, can help taxpayers find preparers in their area who currently hold professional credentials recognized by the IRS or have an annual filing season program record of completion. So you do want to make sure that if you're picking up the tax preparer, again, you're not really looking for the immediate need to be fixed, the tax return this year, because you can kind of solve that with the software if you have a basic tax return. You're looking for someone that you could build a longer term relationship with. Interactive Tax Assistance. This tool has recently been updated with answers to even more tax questions. It can also help taxpayers determine if a type of income is taxable. Many people experience changes in income and other life events in 2020. This tool can help them find credits and deductions. So we got the Interactive Tax Assistance, might be able to help you to kind of see what, things you might be able to pick up. Credits and deductions, most likely it'd be looking for, especially in times when times have been a change in 2020. You might have a tax situation looking a whole lot different than 2019. Taxpayers may qualify for the child tax credit and child independent care credit. Those who are not eligible for the child tax credit might be eligible to claim the credit for other dependents. There's links to those credits here. Individuals pay higher education costs for themselves. A spouse or a dependent may be eligible to save some money with education tax credits or deductions. Additionally, low to moderate income taxpayers may qualify for the Earned Income Tax Credit. Where's My Refund? There's a tool called Where's My Refund. There's a link to that here. Taxpayers who have filed a return and are waiting for their refund can use the Where's My Refund to check the status of a refund payment. This tool is available on IRS.gov, IRS.gov, the IRS website, or through the IRS.gov app. There's a link to the IRS.gov app. It's the really cool app out there. If you don't have it, you're not in the know, you're not in the in-group. So if you have that, then people are impressed with it. So updates are available within 24 hours after the IRS receives an e-file return or 4 weeks after the agency receives a mailed paper return. Taxpayers should file electronically or choose direct deposit. There's a link to the direct deposit options here for most accurate and fastest way to get their refund. People who don't have a bank account can visit the FDIC website. There's a link to that here for information and help opening an account online. View federal tax account information online. Individuals can visit IRS.gov, IRS.gov to set up their account. There's a link to that here. If they already have a username and password, they can log into view their federal tax account balance, payment history, and key information from the most recent tax return as originally filed. Before assessing their account for the first time, taxpayers must authenticate their identity through the secure access process. Paying a tax bill, the IRS offers several ways for the taxpayer to pay their taxes including online, by phone, or through the IRS.gov app, which is the coolest way to pay the IRS. And it's really not, they have a whole lot of different ways to pay them now. And this seems like of course you could pay the IRS any way that you want to have it. But it's actually a good thing because there was a time where paying the IRS was kind of a more difficult type of process to do. It's like you're making it difficult for me to pay you. So a lot of payment options, including, again, the IRS.gov app here. But you can take a look at the payment options, the other payment options in the link up above. So direct pay, there's a link to that, is free and a safe way to pay taxes or estimated tax directly from a checking or savings account. Direct pay has 5 simple steps to pay in a single online session and is also available with the IRS.gov mobile app. More information you could be found on the Publication 5348, Get Ready to File, and Publication 5348, Get Ready to File. Kind of got backwards there. Happens to me every once in a while. And then Publication 5349, Year-Round Tax Planning is for Everyone. Okay, there's a link to those publications here. There'll be a link to this in the description.